In the heart of Savannah, Georgia, where the air is thick with the scent of magnolias and history whispers through cobblestone streets, stood a grand old house named Rosewood Manor. It had belonged to the St. Clair family for generations, and now, the aging but formidable Elaine St. presided over it. Elaine was a striking woman, her deep brown skin radiant against her white cotton dresses, her hair a crown of silver coils. Widowed for a decade, she filled her days with charity work, book clubs, and tending to the sprawling rose gardens she adored. Despite her public poise, there was a loneliness she kept tucked away in the quiet hours of the night. When her longtime housekeeper retired, Elaine was introduced to Clara by her friend at the agency. Clara was in her late 20s, with almond-shaped eyes and warm caramel skin. Her laughter was quick, her movements graceful, and she possessed an uncanny ability to make Rosewood feel alive again. Elaine, ever the practical woman, initially thought of Clara as another employee, efficient and diligent. But over time, Clara's warmth began to seep into Elaine's carefully guarded heart. She admired how Clara hummed while dusting the ancient bookshelves, or how her eyes lit up when they spoke about literature. One evening, after the maids had finished their work, Clara lingered in the kitchen, cleaning up after dinner. Elaine wandered in, her silk robe brushing the floor, and offered Clara a glass of wine. "You work too hard, Clara. Sit with me for a while," Elaine said, her voice low and warm. Clara hesitated but eventually settled across from Elaine at the kitchen table. The air felt charged, but not uncomfortable, as they sipped wine and talked about everything from poetry to their favorite foods. For the first time in years, Elaine felt seen, not as the grand Mrs. St. Clair, but as a woman with desires and dreams. As weeks turned to months, their late-night conversations became a ritual. Clara began to see Elaine not as an employer but as a woman full of strength and vulnerability. Elaine, in turn, marveled at Clara's spirit and kindness. They found themselves drawn to each other in ways neither had expected. One evening, after a storm had swept through Savannah, leaving the roses glistening under the moonlight, Elaine invited Clara to the garden. They strolled in silence until Elaine stopped, her hand brushing Clara's. "You've brought light back into this house, Clara," Elaine said softly. Her dark eyes searched Clara's face, looking for a sign. Clara smiled, a little shy but emboldened by Elaine's honesty. "And you've shown me a kind of beauty I didn't think I'd ever know." Elaine leaned forward, her lips brushing against Clara's with a tenderness that spoke of all the love she had held back for so long. Clara responded, her hands gently resting on Elaine's waist, their connection as natural as the stars above them. From that night on, their love bloomed quietly yet powerfully. Elaine taught Clara the art of rose gardening, and Clara introduced Elaine to the joys of spontaneous dancing in the rain. Together, they navigated the whispers of a small town and the complexities of their age and class differences with grace and resilience. In the end, it was love, pure, unyielding, and transformative, that redefined their lives. Elaine and Clara proved that love knows no bounds, not of age, not of station, and certainly not of what society deems appropriate. Their love was a revolution, blossoming in the quiet hours and growing as timeless as the roses of Rosewood Manor.